Live from Lincoln, this is Channel 8 Eyewitness News Late Edition.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Laura Wilson. The Huskers lose another heartbreaker. Let's check in with Peter Terpstra with the breakdown of the game. Pete?
What a day, what a day. A Nebraska trip to Champaign for their Big Ten opener. The Huskers have owned Illinois since joining the Big Ten. All good streaks must come to an end, usually at the most unexpected time. Nebraska versus Illinois. The Illini entering tonight's game with only one loss to North Carolina early in the season. Pickup action in the first quarter. DeMornay Pearsonell making his return to the Huskers. He's back to catch the punt, and it's muffed. Illinois recovers. He can't advance a muffed punt. Next possession for Illinois. This led to a Taylor Zaleski field goal attempt from 51 yards out. It is wide left. We are still scoreless. Later in the first, Illinois running back Josh Ferguson left the game with a shoulder injury, didn't return, and Illinois kicker Zaleski got another crack at a field goal, and he misses again. Still scoreless. Huskers did not have a first down in the first quarter, only 23 total yards. Now in the second, Huskers finally get some offense going. True freshman Divine Ozigbo with the 19-yard score up and over that caps a 6-play, 76-yard drive. Later in the second, 1st and 10 for Illinois. Malik Collins eating West lunch for dinner. Man, Collins had a big-time game. Loss of 7. Not much offense until this. Tommy Armstrong finds Sethan Carter for a 55-yard catch. That is a career-long reception for Carter. That led to this Drew Brown field goal from 39 yards out. Huskers would head into the locker room up 10-0 at halftime. Let's go to the third quarter. Husker ball, 3rd and 17. Tommy Armstrong hit as he throws, and it is picked off. Returned for 13 yards, the only turnover in the game, but it would not lead to any points for the Illini. Nebraska would get some good field position later, thanks to a Sam Foltz punt that led to a 28-yard field goal by Drew Brown. So the Huskers up 13-0 at the end of the third. Fourth quarter, one to forget. Illinois gets back into this one. West Lunt to Marchie Murdoch, 22-yard tutty. Illinois closes the gap, down 13-7. 1 minute left in the game. 4th and 7. Huskers need a first down to seal this one. They call a pass play, and it's incomplete. That stops the clock. Illinois gets the ball back with 51 seconds left. West Lunt making some magic. It's Malik Turner for a 50-yard gain. A few pass interference penalties later put the ball on the 1-yard line. This is it. West Lunt gonna find Geronimo Allison. Cool name, cooler catch. Touchdown. Backbreaker with 10 seconds left. Illinois goes up 14-13, and that is how this one would end. Illinois beats Nebraska for the first time since 1924, 14-13. The Huskers have a losing record on the season, and they start Big Ten play with a loss. Channel 8 Sports Director Brett Edwards has our coverage from Champaign, Illinois.
I hate to sound like a broken record, but for the third time in 5 games, Nebraska loses in heartbreaking fashion. The Huskers played well enough to win this game, especially defensively, except for the final minute of the ball game. Criticism will surely come Mike Riley's way for the way he handled the game in the fourth quarter, but for now, the Huskers start Big Ten play 0-1.
This one will be interesting for sure. I'm just going to kind of say what I've said before, what I've thought about this team. They started practicing well on Mondays. This was obviously a very similar loss to what we already been through this year, and I think each reaction was good, so I'm not going to assume that the next one won't be.
Every loss hurts. Every loss is a gut punch. So we need to come together and start winning some games. All right, it's a long season. It didn't exactly go how we wanted to and started off, but we got to come together, play for each other, play for these coaches. We'll be all right.
The goal is to be the best team you can be. So, for us, the process continues. We have to keep the same attitude, fix our issues, and come back better next week.
It doesn't matter what happens. We just got to keep going out there. We got to play. It's all about pride now, so we got to keep going.
With Iowa's win today at Wisconsin and Northwestern blanking Minnesota, the Big Ten West division is about as clear as mud. The Huskers still have hopes of making it to Indianapolis, but it's a long road ahead in Big Ten play. Reporting in Champaign, Brett Edwards, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, Sports.
Thanks, Brett. The Huskers start the season 2-3 for the first time since 1959. Next up, Wisconsin is coming to town. All your Big Ten highlights coming up in sports.
Thanks, Pete.
Now, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, sports.
If you missed our coverage at the beginning of this newscast, Nebraska loses its Big Ten opener. Illinois defeated the Huskers on a touchdown with 10 seconds left in the game. Your final score, 14-13. After an incomplete pass on third down that stopped the clock, 55 seconds left in the game, 4th down and 7 from the Illinois 27-yard line. The Huskers had a choice to either kick a 44-yard field goal, but instead they chose to run a play. After an incompletion, Illinois got the ball back with 51 seconds left. Then they drove down the field and won the game. Plenty of big decisions going into that fourth quarter.
I think with the pressure, it was kind of a botched formation. We didn't get the motion over there to help him, and that was the whole intention of it was a quarterback run. I guess my first reaction was surprise, and then after that, whatever.
It was hard to go run, pass, and so we were trying to mix some passes in there, and had a hard time with it. Whether it was a route or a throw, I thought we had some guys open at times, and we couldn't get it to them. We ran the ball pretty well. We did not do well enough in the passing game to make some plays.
Here's some team stats for you. The Husker offense was lacking today. Only 292 yards of total offense, well below their average. Nebraska had a tough day throwing the ball. 105 passing yards, only 1 turnover on the game. Tommy Armstrong INT, which did not lead to any points. Top individual performers from today. The Huskers' leading rusher was a relative unknown, true freshman Divine Ozigbo. He had 7 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown. Fullback Andy Janovich also got some touches. Tommy Armstrong Jr., 10 of 31, 105 yards and an interception. He also ran for 38. How about Chris Weber? Walk-on linebacker, had a team-high 17 tackles, 4 of those for a loss. Here is your Big Red Play the Game, brought to you by our friends at KC Toyota. It was your first chance to see Divine Ozigbo get real touches in a game-like setting. He was shining on this touchdown in the second quarter from 19 yards out. That is the team's only touchdown. He looked good. Keep in mind, he is just a true freshman. Nebraska volleyball is riding the highest of highs heading into Columbus, Ohio today. The Huskers beat the top-ranked team in the land on Saturday, a 5-set win over Penn State, snapping a 33-game win streak for the Nittany Lions. The Huskers now looking to beat number 13, Ohio State, on the road. Let's see if we can get these volleyball highlights.
9.
Brought to you by BTN Plus. Pick things up in the 4th set. Nebraska would take the lead on a 5-0 run. They go up 12-9, and they would win set 4, 25-17, forcing a decisive 5th set. 5th set now, Amber Rolfson would finish in double digits, 10 kills, 5 blocks. Her sister Katie had 11 kills. Cece Hall led the Huskers in kills with 12. She also had 6 blocks, but it wasn't enough. Ohio State would rally and win set 5, 15-10. The Huskers fall in 5 sets. Number 13, Ohio State, the day after taking down number 1. They come back home Wednesday to take on Michigan State. Still to come, Channel 8 Eyewitness News Sports. It was a busy day in the Big Ten. See which team survives some scares to start conference play. Highlights coming up next. Welcome back. Nebraska Wesleyan is in the middle of its last season in the GPAC. The Prairie Wolves will play in the Iowa Intercollegiate Athletic Conference next year, which means leaving a century-old rivalry behind. Nebraska Wesleyan and Doane had their 100th meeting last season, now meeting number 101, the last conference meeting today here in town at Able Stadium. And this one was pretty one-sided. First quarter, Nate Meyer, a 10-yard touchdown run. That opens up the scoring for Doane. 7-0 Tigers later in the first. Garrett Sonner up. This time from 4 yards out. Extra point, no good. 13-0 Doane. Second quarter. More from Nate Meyer. 4-yard touchdown run. His second of the game. Doane just trucking and trucking just before half. Ben Green finds his favorite target, Ryan Larson. Prairie Wolves get on the board. 29-yard score there. Third quarter. Jack Shadley for Doane to Corey Kalkworth. That's a 5-yard score. 27, the lead for Doane. Fourth quarter now, Meyer 65 yards, scampery, 233 yards rushing, 3 scores. Dome ran for 444 yards in the game. They win big, 44-7, and improve 5-0 on the season. Channel 8's Andrew Ward says, hey, what's up, Low from Able Stadium.
Nebraska Wesleyan and Dome came in today looking for the final conference victory against each other. This game belonged to Dome, though. The Tigers earned the 44-7 victory and bragging rights in the rivalry over the next few years.
It feels good. I mean, we got them last year too, and then 2 years ago, last time we were here, we got beat by 1 point. So, I mean, it feels good for the last time we played in the G-Pack. It feels good.
Yeah, it's a little motivation, but we just come out every weekend. Just another game, just another basically business trip for us. Feels good, and it feels good against Wesleyan.
I think at the end of the game, we kind of goes through your mind, well, this is a good way to go out. And so anyway, we'll meet up again here in a few years, but I guess for the time being, we're happy with the result.
The overall series record is now 49-46-6 in favor of the Tigers. These teams will try to play a non-conference game in the next few years, but nothing is scheduled as of yet. Reporting from Able Stadium, Andrew Ward, Channel 8 Eyewitness News Sports.
Thank you, Andrew. Here are your Big Ten highlights today. Iowa and number 19, Wisconsin. First and goal, Hawkeyes with the ball. C.J. Beathard rolls right, finds George Kittle for the touchdown. Iowa goes ahead 7-3, now 10-6 Iowa. Wisconsin in the red zone. Oopsies. Ball on the ground. Joel Stabby trying to hand it off. Take a second look. He's going to get tripped up by one of his offensive linemen. Wisconsin's 4th turnover of the game. Iowa's going to win 10-6. Minnesota and Northwestern win today out of Ryan Fields. And Evanston, second quarter, first and goal from the 5. Wildcats have a 3-0 lead. Add on to that. Clayton Thorson on the QB keeper. Northwestern goes up by 10. Don't look now, folks, but Northwestern might be the favorite in the West. Third quarter, Thorson airs it out to Solomon Vault. One-handed magic touchdown grab. He reviewed. The referees say, hey, not a catch, led to a field goal. Still pretty cool, though. Northwestern wins 27-0, their first conference shutout since 1995. Michigan visiting Maryland. Both Harbaugh brothers saying, what's up? Third quarter, Michigan up 6-0. Jake Rudock finds Drake Johnson on the screen. Johnson takes it 31 yards to the house. Michigan would get the two-point conversion. They go up 14-0. Later in the quarter, same score. Jehu Justin. This guy only had 41 rushing yards in his career before this play. This time he goes 66 yards in one swoop. Michigan wins 28-0. Purdue visiting number 2 Michigan State. And the Spartans would have their hands full. Fourth quarter, down 21-7. Markel Jones. This kid can play. 68 yards till he hits pay dirt. Purdue cuts the lead to 21-14. Later in the quarter, Purdue down by that score. First and goal, Jones powers it in. Now, Purdue's only down by 3. 104 left in the game. On fourth down, Purdue on their last leg. Incomplete. Turnover on downs. Michigan State survives. They beat Purdue 24-21. Ohio State and Indiana. Ohio State also survived tonight. They were losing at one point to Indiana. Ezekiel Elliott, running back for Ohio State, had a big day. They win 34-27. Former Husker head coach Bo Pelini in the neighborhood today. His Youngstown State Penguins visiting South Carolina South Dakota at the Dakota Dome. Second quarter, 10-0. Penguins, Hunter Wells airing it out and finds on Andrew Williams, 51-yard score. The Fighting Bo Pelini are up 17-0. Later in the second quarter, Wells back to throw. He's going to get sacked by South Dakota's Andrew Van Ginkel. Penguins force the punt. Next Youngstown drive. Wells is going to be picked off, but Youngstown will roll in this one 31-3. In G-Pack play, Concordia on the road at Dordt. They won 34-21. Royals beat the Twins 5-1 tonight in the Nationals. Max Scherzer threw a no-hitter against the Mets. The second no-hitter he's thrown this season.
You know, I'm kind of secretly hoping that the Fighting Bo Pelinis becomes some sort of hashtag that trends on Twitter. That's great.
He was pretty cool. I'm not sure where his next game is or how close it's going to be to Lincoln, but I mean, certainly, 4 hours away, something like that. Pretty close coming back.
Sure. Sounds good. Thanks, Pete. We've got your final check of the weather coming up after the break.